What is up, what it is, audience? Today we are going to be talking about a graphic and a saying I have said to myself over the past 5 to 6 years, which goes something like this. Popular culture is internet culture is meme culture, and meme culture is popular culture. This idea, this little memeplex of concepts, is sort of the backbone of a lot of the work I do on What It Is, and it has 3 lessons within it that sort of define my thought process when I approach a lot of these topics, and I'm gonna break it down for you today. Let's start with popular culture is internet culture. This portion of the triangle is stating that over the past 20 years, we have seen the internet gradually encroach into every realm of popular culture. This is exemplified in a couple of really key instances. Think, news stations almost being completely dictated by happenings on Twitter or, reporting on TikTok crazes at fast food restaurants. Think YouTubers on the red carpet. Think the movie industry trying desperately to absorb influencers and or find ways to get their existing IP to go viral online. Like the whole business model of most marketing agencies now is seeding things online, trying to popularize other mediums that are dwindling in their power and influence through social media because the market shares and the eyes just keep growing year after year. And think about how the ultimate way to tell whether or not something is an industry plant or has actual legs or following behind it now is there a real organic following online? Is there TikTok fan edits? Are there, real signs of people caring and using music beyond what you can do with money? All of these things to me indicate the role of the internet in all mediums of popular culture now, all mediums of cultural dissemination, how integral the internet has been in upsetting business models, changing, the flow of information and what's expected out of these mediums we interact with. Think years ago, could you imagine news stations having like an active comment section? Like these news stations that people, Walter Cronkite era, people would take extremely seriously. Could you imagine what a comment section and or a populace at that time thinking, they had the ability to input and give feedback? What I'm highlighting here is how much the internet and some of the technologies surrounding it have just drastically changed what popular culture is. And I think anyone who works in cultural industries or media knows the writing is on the wall and that the internet will transform every single one of these remaining industries that haven't been updated fully yet. This is all to say modern popular culture is dictated by the internet. Number 2, internet culture is meme culture. For those familiar with the internet, you likely know one of the defining feelings, experiences of being a part of a fandom or interacting with any piece of media online is the memes. It's the online fandoms, the in-jokes, the ways in which little snippets of information from a source piece of media get disseminated across the internet and define it and allow it to spread beyond simply, the core of whatever it actually is. The reason I say internet culture is meme culture is I think it is the defining aspect of what makes the internet different. It is a type of shrinking or understanding of how small culture can be and how fast it can replicate on a wide scale kind of network, person-to-person, internet-enabled mode. The easiest way to understand almost anything within internet culture is to study the memes about it. It is little encapsulated ideas that kind of make up the wider memeplex of any sort of cultural entity online. And it was the internet that allowed us to understand how this medium can work at scale. As I will say at the end of this, memes have existed before and will exist after the internet. However, it is through the internet that memes as a mode of understanding culture, memetics, has become clear as probably the best explanation for how culture works. And that's why I focus so much on memes and use them as proxies for sort of wider cultural happenings. Which brings us to the last idea. Meme culture is popular culture is kind of what this is all building up to, which is Memetics is the underlying school of thought that I use to approach all cultural exchange, all popular culture, all cultural success. I am under the impression that the internet has given us a very clear mode of studying this, and it has shown it's more of an acceleration of understanding about how culture moves, because you can see on a very micro level exactly what someone's input is, as opposed to the past where we're doing kind of like ethnographies and there's layers of convolution that can come from someone trying to explain what another person is doing. The internet has shown how micro cultural exchange can be, and it kind of throws a wrench at what I would consider most other models for understanding culture, which are often rooted on capital or geopolitical influence of what a country is doing at a given time, or just power dynamics of particular groups in relation to others, and how culture basically gets adopted from one to another. I think all of these are really great on a macro level, but what is often missed in those explanations is the micro trends, the times in which things can kind of like break out against all odds of capital, because they are aligned with what I would consider like core memes or archetypes or forms which have higher propensities towards replication, which I'm getting a little nebulous here, but I am effectively saying that memetics as a mode of understanding culture is the backbone of this channel. I think it can be used to explain a lot of what's happening in popular culture right now, and a lot of what has happened in popular culture throughout time. I don't subscribe to like a pure Richard Dawkins, it's all necessarily about evolution. I think there is a sort of libidinal or energetic economy at play as well that is dictated by core pairings and archetypes, which occultism tries to get at. Think triads, the mother, the maiden, and the crone, or think the lovers, or just couples, and all of the romantic imagery around love and the pairing of opposites, and how certain cultural images or memes can basically break and replicate and speak on a level that I think goes hand in hand with capital and wider structures, but I don't think it's necessarily capital that's causing those things to exist. It can amplify, but what I'm trying to say is that the memes are the best way to go about understanding this. This channel uses a type of memetics that I think will be seen in the future as a sort of rebellion against CBT, or very like granular empirical, what's the fucking word I'm looking for? It's either deductive or inductive reasoning. It's whatever like the basis of scientific thinking is. It's like disproving from the onset. I'll throw it up on screen whenever I think of it. But I think this entire mode of understanding culture and how the human psyche is excited and or saddened and or pushed towards spreading a particular idea is going to be seen as like a pushback against a lot of existing academe that is coming out of just the internet and the populace, like making it so obvious that no one else can deny it. That's pretty much what I gotta say. This is just a collection of ideas, but let me know what you think about the triad, and with that, it is what it is.